Hello everyone, this is Konstantin Kamelian, and today I'm going to fix bugs and improve my application, progressive web application built with Solid.js, Firebase services, Tailwind CSS, and many other nice and good tools. So I'm recording this video. It's not planned because I didn't receive a push notification about the new moon day, which is actually today. So it means that something wrong with my cloud functions and I need to check the status. That's why I'm recording this video. Let's do it together, debug a little bit the cloud functions and investigate what's happening. Let me show you my plan for today. It's just cloud function issues, as I mentioned, and also if I have time I will add some SEO metadata, which is nice to have, but yeah, necessary for search engine optimization. Let me go to Firebase console first. I can open it here, go to console, open my application, go to functions, and you see cloud moon phase, calculate moon phases function was requested one time for the last 24 hours. So let me go to the logs and see if the run was successful or not. Interestingly enough, the logs are located on the main Google Cloud console. Here we can see, just a little bit. We can see status code 401. We can just Google for the status. HTTP status code 401 means unauthorized, meaning that my cloud function tried to access something without permissions to access it, right? So let's look for messages. So we have a message. An error occurred when trying to authenticate to the FCM service. So make sure the credentials used to authenticate this SDK has the proper permissions. See the setup instructions. I already seen them. I already take a look, and I can actually search for this phrase on Google, and the first page Google responded with is Stack Overflow. The same message mentioned here, and the first answer. The first answer says that we need to enable cloud messaging service through Google Cloud Console, additionally to the Firebase Cloud Messaging API. So it's not enough to enable just Firebase Cloud Messaging API, which actually enabled automatically through Firebase console, because when I created the application and when I configured the application. But this cloud messaging service is not enabled automatically. So we need to go to Google Cloud Platform dashboard, find the service which needs to be enabled, API services, the list of API and services already enabled. You can see here cloud messaging. So you see that Firebase Cloud Messaging API is enabled and functioning. I can disable it I don't need it, but yeah, it just indicates that it's enabled. But I cannot find here the cloud messaging, the simple cloud messaging, the native to Google. The story is that Firebase services and Firebase company was a separate company, and then Google acquired it. That's probably why Firebase is not fully integrated to the Google services still. So you still need to go to Google Cloud Platform console and do some stuff manually. It's not fully integrated. So that's why we need to enable APIs and services. Use the link, find cloud messaging, search for it. And here we have some results. First is Firebase Cloud Messaging, obviously, and the cloud messaging itself. Let's check the status. And the status is actually disabled. For the test application I used at first, I actually enabled this cloud messaging service and just forgot about it. For this new application, which I configured for production myself, I didn't record that to kind of keep the settings private, to keep keys private, etc. So, but in fact, I didn't enable the cloud messenger service for this application. So I need to enable it. Let's wait for a few more seconds. Can come back to, yeah, now it's enabled. We can disable it. It means all good here. I can close this page, I can close this page and this. Let's look at the logs. Some more logs. Actually, I can close this one and open per function usage details, which will give me more information on a particular function. And the particular function I need to take a look is calculate moon phases. And I see this message. This function has failed to deploy and will not work correctly. Please edit and redeploy. Why? So it looks like we deploy stuff and this stuff has not been deployed. All the functions, I mean most of the functions, at least this one, has not been deployed properly. Probably deployed but with some issues. So, and what's the reason? Show more. If I read this stuff here, I can actually go to logs for this particular function. Yeah, Log Explorer allows you to set the function name here and fetch the information about this function. I can actually edit time here and use last 1 day. Okay, let's see if we have some issues here. This is all good. What if I change the time again? Change the time again. Edit time to, I don't know, 14 days. And go to errors. Can open error messages. What's the value? Let's expand. So we have some issues with Firebase admin dependency. For the function, let's check. For the functions project, we actually install Firebase admin 12. But what happens is that Firebase functions test dependency requires 11. So this Firebase functions test, this project Firebase functions test requires 11, Firebase admin 11. So we should either remove Firebase functions test or switch to the 11th version of Firebase admin. I'm okay for now to switch to 11 version, but just for your information, Firebase functions test is a special helper for testing cloud functions. We didn't test cloud functions for this particular project. Maybe later I will include it in one of my videos and create some tests for my Firebase cloud functions. But for now, we don't have any. But we still let's still keep this dependency here active, and just to remember that they need some tests for cloud functions. So for now, I already changed the Firebase admin dependency to 11. Let's go and install the dependencies. Yeah, now it's updated, which is good. We can redeploy and try to see what happens if they redeploy. And when we will need to run this function manually through the Google Cloud console. I'm not sure if it's possible to run this function here. Probably yes, but not sure. No, we cannot. We can view it in Cloud Scheduler and run from that. We can also view logs from here, which is also useful. So let me try to redeploy the entire project and see if it fixes the issue, or two issues actually. Let's see if it builds the functions project successfully, which is good. Now it's building the main project, main front-end project. It's already successfully built, and service worker is generated, and all the checks have passed. Outdated version Firebase functions, please update using. Okay, it just said that I need to update Firebase functions because the version is outdated. Let me check. npm outdated. Yeah. And Firebase functions test also updated. So we can actually, set these Firebase functions to 470 here. And what else? Firebase functions test to 311. And let's try. Maybe they just released a version which fixes the dependency. Let's see. I will just try to. I didn't know that because I checked previously, and I didn't have any updates. Let's see if it installs properly with the 12th version of Firebase admin as well. Yeah, it's installed everything, and I can assume it should work. Failed. Let me check. Okay, it's not from this project. Let's clear here. cd to the main. I can actually go and see what's the changes for this version. npm Firebase function test. Okay, let's go to the main project on GitHub and just read release notes. Yeah, exactly. They've just fixed it exactly this particular error. Yeah, good coincidence, right? So I can still use Firebase admin 12, which is good. But anyway, I need to redeploy the application. Can I actually check the outdated dependencies for the main project? Maybe they also updated the main Firebase client. Yes, they did. They updated the main Firebase client and some other dependencies. Let's maybe go and update them manually. Firebase. We actually updated it recently, but for some reason it was not updated. Let me just do it manually. Firebase 10.8.0 post CSS 8.4.35. Good. It's minor. It's patch update. Prettier 3.2.5. 3, 2, and 5. Solid.js 1.8.14. 14 also patch version. Type Azoros library 10.1.0. 10.1.0. And Vite actually 5.1 and 1. They just released a patch version, which is good. I can actually update the dependencies of the main project through npm install according to the changes I introduced. Let me just add it to the spelling dictionary. Ignore words for user. CSS Nano is well-known library, so we need to ignore this warning of my spell checker. So everything is updated. We can try to deploy to Firebase. Yeah, it's building the Fire Functions project, successful, and now it's building the front-end project, creating service worker, checking the necessary services, and now I'm interested if any warnings are displayed here. No, nothing, meaning we should be good. It will probably recompile the functions and redeploy them, but not sure. Let's see. It's deploying indexes, Firestore rules. They are up to date. Deploying hosted version of the front-end deploying the front-end application to the hosting, and now trying to deploy functions. If it doesn't notice any changes, it won't deploy them. It will skip. But let's see. We actually made some changes, I mean dependency wise, so maybe we need to actually redeploy the functions. After that, we will test the application and try to run the calculate moon phases function and see if any issues occur in the log. Yeah, it takes some time to install dependencies probably. I don't know what it's doing under the hood. I can actually show you actually usage statistics of the Ashtanga Moon project. It's not much, it's probably me testing. Some hosting 4 megabits, some invocations of Firebase Cloud Functions, maybe 10, some reads and writes to the Firestore, and the storage is probably for service purposes of the Cloud Functions. And I can show you the billing, how much will Firebase charge me. It's actually in Thai bahts, so it's just 0.08 of Thai bahts, so it's very insignificant, at least for me. So I can keep testing and keep deploying stuff freely. It's not a big deal. Let's see if some users will use it. Let's see the usage statistics later and the billing details. For now, I'm okay. I'm safe. So it's just been deployed. I can see that the functions updated, which is good. I can actually open the application. Let me close this stuff for now and open the main Ashtangamon application. I need to force it to update the Firebase service worker and all this stuff. Yeah, I think it's updated. Good, now I can actually sign in to test. Yeah, I've just signed in. I can subscribe now. Yeah, nothing important here. Can reload the app and check that I'm subscribed. Can check the Firestore database. Obviously there is FCM tokens here. Yeah, and we see messages here. It actually created a necessary message just recently. But the problem is that because of the issues with Cloud Functions, it didn't work. It didn't send messages, I think. But yeah, the application is not yet ready for production use. I mean, I'm still developing it, right? Not many people are using it, so it's okay to make mistakes and have some bugs, I think. So at least we know that a message created here, that then it means something. Yeah, the Cloud Functions partially working. So let's see the logs for these Cloud Functions. Calculate moon phases. What the time interval? I'd like to change the time interval to 1 day. Not extend. I need to change it through edit. Yeah, let me do it. Edit time. Last 30 minutes is okay, I think. Okay, what we have here? We don't have any issues. We have 3 info messages and 4 notices. Condition status changed to true. Okay, let's see the details. Yeah, info, not very useful information. Couple of piece. Okay. Yeah, it's not much of the information. The important thing here is that I don't see any error messages Let me try and run this cloud function manually again. View cloud scheduler. Should be possible to run this cloud function. Yeah, it says has not yet run. Let's force run it and then check the log. Status success. Can reload. Can check the logs again. Probably reload the page. A message has been created successfully. February 10th. Cool. So it says that it created a message. Let's check the statistics here. If it shows that it was run. Yeah, it was run. I was subscribed. It's good. Let's check Firestore database. And no, I mean, it's probably, yeah, it probably created a message before me checking it. And the second run was just empty run, like because the condition doesn't match anymore. So let's hope and see. Maybe it actually sent the message to my phone. I was subscribed to the application through my phone. I'm gonna check my phone now. No, I don't see any new messages, new push messages from the application. Okay, that's okay. Can reload the app. So yeah, it's hard to test at the moment. This function, I need to wait for next full moon day in a couple of weeks. So, but we just made sure that there are no errors for this particular cloud function, and probably for any other. Let's just reset improve the query to display all cloud functions here. Information from all cloud functions. Okay. Run query. Information from all cloud functions for I don't know, let's see, 5 minutes. Yeah, we have some run here, info message, and the message has been created message. It's good. It should be created. Let me check what's going on inside the function. When it says a message has been created, on document created, a message has been sent, a message has been created successfully. Okay. Yeah, there is an issue here also. The issue is we actually display the message, they actually print a message to the console even if we didn't create a message. So we need to move this logger to this one. Okay. Message has been created. We can actually add some information about what kind of message was created, new or full moon day. Let's improve this error reporting, and I'm going to use string literals here and just include the message type to the message. Okay, it's full moon. And now that's why actually a message has been the message in the log says a message has been created, because it actually mistakenly was printed to the console. What if I just, for test purposes, what if I just create a new message and check on my phone if the message has been received? I will just add this test code. We'll add some fix me, remove it, just not to forget. So I can actually create a message about new moon, and even if I have users, because users didn't receive a message about the new moon, I can actually send them this test message now, so they receive it anyway. Let's try. For that, we need to deploy the application again. We have actually a way to deploy only functions. There is a command for that. So we can use Firebase deploy, and the parameter only will allow us to deploy only functions. It will save us some time and probably money. And when we force run this function, we should actually send a message to users. Let's see. It's deploying functions being deployed. A couple of more seconds. Now it will deploy just the updated function, I think. Let's see, the other functions are up to date. We just changed only one. I will later remove this code and redeploy again to not send users new moon message every day at midnight, because cron actually runs every day at midnight. So yeah. Yeah, it takes some time. Let me switch to something else. For example, log messages here. If we have some new log messages, yes, we do have some new log messages. Functions are being deployed. Okay. Yeah, it updated all the functions for some reason. That's okay. Now I can actually run the function again. Maybe change the interval to 1 minute, not 5 minutes, to not catch the previous messages. Okay, let us run this function again. Just, used to reload the page just to make sure that everything is updated. But I don't need it, in fact. I just ran it. Yeah, you see the message actually occurred on my application here in the browser in my operating system, and also I received a message on my phone. Yeah, cool. New moon is coming. Yeah, it's working actually, and all users received this message who all of them who subscribe to the messages. Cool. Now everything is working. I'm now happy. I can remove this stuff, redeploy, and switch to the remaining task for today. Okay, cool. Can close this, I think. Yeah. And Firebase Cloud Function statistics should be changed here, because we've run the function 2 times manually and 1 time on cron. Cool. Now let me come back to my plan. Close this, and you see that I planned adding some SEO metadata. I'm not going to do it myself, even if I know how to do it. It's because it's a lot of boilerplate. So I'm going to use metatags.io service to just generate some boilerplate meta tags for me, and I will use some of them. For instance, meta description. I can close this. I can close this. I can open my main project, index HTML. Let me put some metadata somewhere here, probably. And the value for meta description will be application slogan. So it will be application slogan, and it should be in string literals, I think, or no, not actually. We need to use normal. So we have this with stuff, so it will be slogan, and you may see in the console the functions have been deployed successfully again with my latest changes to the calculate moon phases function. So I can continue with meta tags here. What other meta tags are important? The main meta tags which are important for social networks is open graph meta tags. Actually, Twitter, as far as I know, is capable of using open graph meta tags. So I can actually put only open graph meta tags to the page, and it should work for Twitter as well. We will test it a bit later. For now, we can use this. I can just use blank space here, just for simplicity. So the URL, do they have URL available, or we can hard code it? We can actually hard code it here, I think. Not ideal. Not ideal. So what if I actually add a new constant here, new variable, app URL, okay, and the URL will be ashtangamoon.org. Now I can use this URL the same way with persons. Cool. It's a website, definitely. The title will be the same as the page title. Okay, I can use this variable here, and the description will be the app slogan. I can actually add slogan here, caps lock, app slogan variable. What about image? We have some screenshots for the application which we use for progressive tap-up features. So I can actually use screenshot white for displaying here, or screenshot just round. I think screenshot white should be good. Let me use it here too. Screenshot white, public EMG, it's gonna be img here, img, and the image name and the URL will be from the variable. Okay, now actually I can actually remove this slash from here to make it better. So this description is good. Let me actually deploy this project, and I will deploy only hosting. And see if the meta information has been added to the app. I will use the same tool to scan for meta tags. It's possible to put it here, but first I need I don't need to update the service worker. Service worker is installed in a particular client. So because this particular client, this tool, didn't use the application before, I can assume that the service worker didn't cache the data, so I can just parse metadata here. Let's see what we can get. I will need to update the screenshots later. For now it's okay. I think to have some dummy screenshot, I will just make a note for myself. So you see title, it's good. You see the description, which is going to be good, and we see how it's going to look on Google. It's, of course, it can be improved, but it's okay for now. What we have for Facebook, we have all the Open Graph meta tags which I used for Facebook, which is good. LinkedIn Open Graph meta tags are working too. Pinterest, I don't care, but it's working there too. Slack is not necessary, but still okay to have. And the official debugger for Twitter. Let's see how Twitter sees us, because this tool doesn't have Twitter as far as I understand. Oh no, this tool also shows the Twitter one, and Twitter one is okay, as I assumed. Open Graph metadata is fine enough to be used by all the social media platforms. Twitter Composer, what does it mean? It just changed the... Okay, I don't care. It should work properly on Twitter, so we are good, we are okay. The only thing I need to do myself is to update screenshots. Okay, so this is what I wanted to do for today. Let me come back to my plan. So we fixed two issues with Cloud Functions. Luckily, the developers of the Firebase Functions test suite or test library updated it to be able to use it, for me to be able to use it with Firebase Admin 12. So I didn't need to downgrade my Firebase Admin version, which is good. We keep the application dependencies up to date, and the application still remains operational, functioning, everything is working, messages received, all good. And finally, we added search engine metadata to the application, so it could look nice for social media, on social media. Yeah, and that's it for today. Thank you very much for your time. See you next time.